Making art every day for 31 days? Can I really do that? Well, I'm challenging this idea by participating in Peachtober this year and making an art piece every single day for the month of October. I'm also adding a challenge every single day to my art process. Howdy hey, I'm Kit Kat and welcome to day 22 of Peachtober. Today's prompt is web, and I don't like spiders. But before we get into anything, it's time for card attack time! The time where I get attacked by an extra challenge for the day. So let's pick today's challenge. Today's challenge is Pattern Palooza, where I have to include patterns in my art piece. I kind of forget if I made this challenge that I have to include multiple patterns or if I just have to at least include one pattern. I don't remember. We'll go look back at that to figure out. But here's my color palette for the day, and here is my silly little sketch. And with that, let's get cooking. And welcome back to another voiceover with Kit Kat. Today's prompt was web, and the only thing that came to mind when it came to this prompt was ramen. What they have to do with one another, I have no idea. My brain is a wild, interesting place to be in, and sometimes the things I come up with, I'm like, where did that come from? And that's sort of how I feel about today's piece. But I also love it, and I really love how it turned out. I have done designs with ramen before. Ramen is great. I love ramen. A good bowl of ramen makes a day better. And so I thought it would be fun to include ramen once again in a piece, but with a twist. Because the ramen noodles are almost like the web for the spider. And then the spiders are slurping up the ramen. And that is the packaging design that I came up with for this piece and for my idea. So there isn't really anything super deep about it other than the fact that I love ramen and I also love ramen. That's it. I don't like spiders. I struggled with how to even make a piece about webs and spiders because I don't like spiders. They scare me. Every time there's a spider in my house, I make my husband kill it. I am really, really scared of them. Either kill it or try to release it to safety. But it cannot be in my room. If I'm trying to go to bed at night and I see a spider, I'm like, hold up. This cannot be here. I cannot sleep in peace if I know that this spider is in my room. So that is my experience with spiders. I probably could never go to Australia. I've heard that they have really big spiders there, and I don't think I could handle that. I can barely handle little ones crawling around my house. But I tried to make the spiders in my piece about ramen cute because in my head they're not cute. But I thought if I make them cute, maybe I'll like them more. I don't think I like them more, but I do think this piece is cute. And I also had a lot of fun drawing the noodles. Something about drawing a noodle is just the most enjoyable thing ever. I love the squiggly. I love the wiggly. I love a good noodle. So that's a little bit about the piece. In other news, I am so close to being done with Peachtober. I'm really starting every day to feel more and more like I can see the finish line. And that is motivating me a lot to put effort into these last few pieces because I want to finish this race well. And I want to put out good art even here at the end. I feel like when I do art challenges, the hardest period is that middle part. And sometimes even the end part. The beginning part, I'm always really proud of everything I put out. But then once we get to that middle section where I'm sort of feeling unmotivated about the idea of making art every day for 31 days, I start to feel unmotivated and I don't want to do any of the pieces. I don't want to have to film it. I don't want to have to edit it. It's so much. Then we hit this little end of the road where I'm like, oh, maybe I can do this. And I feel like I see this in like every single time I've done an art challenge. I have the same problem. And here we are again, round 3 of doing an art challenge, and we are back at having the same issue. But I'm trying really hard here at the end to bring out my best, because I feel like I had a few days of putting out pieces that I'm not especially excited or proud of. And I think part of doing an art challenge is sometimes just finishing the art, but that's never my first choice. I'd much rather put out good art on top of also finishing the art. And so I am really proud of how the piece turned out today, and I am glad that I took my time with it and that I just enjoyed the process. I also enjoyed the challenge of adding patterns. I added quite a few. Hopefully you've been able to pick up through the video footage where I put patterns, but one of my favorite patterns is like polka dots or like spots. It's just a lovely pattern to work with. It adds texture to a piece, but without like being too much. I don't want the piece to be like overwhelming / overstimulating to the viewer with too much going on. So yeah, polka dots, great option. Also felt like polka dots would go really well with a package of ramen. It's just something like I already would imagine on a box of ramen in a weird way. So that worked out really well. And yeah, I really enjoyed the process. I enjoyed the challenge, and I'm excited to show you the final design. So with that, I think it's time to head into the end of the video. And you made it to the end of the video where I get to show you the final design. Dude, I feel so close to the end of Peachtober. Like, we are so close, and I'm feeling so much more optimistic about the last few days of this challenge, and I had fun on today's art piece, so it's been a great day. Thanks for tuning in. I'm filming a video every single day of Peachtober, so if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button and stay tuned, because we have I think 9 days of Peachtober left. I can't remember the exact amount, but stay tuned. With that, I will see you tomorrow for another day of Peachtober, and I will catch you on the flippity flop.